Okay, so this is from a short kick, receiving probably in that pod of 1.5. Which I said in the other video, you can see how the pod's set up. This will be your single, this will be the 1, this will typically be your 3 or your second pod, another pod, and another pod. Now because it's going to be short, chances are this pod's going to be under a lot of pressure, so I want these guys to close in and protect the pod just to make sure secure we get the ball. So 1's up there, 2 behind, just to protect in case anything gets knocked over. Down 2 is, then it has to be about speed, it has to be about getting that ball moving through the middle and into the middle and out to the wide side of the pitch. Now, should there be a lot of forwards on this side, we kind of want them to be engaged or hit up around about here. I think in animation it's a little bit wider, it's about here, but if we can stop the forwards here, it's going to keep this pretty well gappy. For when we do want to do our counter up this middle and up this outside left. So what we're going to try and do is overload this side. Now, we don't always overload one side, it just depends where the ball goes. In this instance, we're just going to overload the left hand side just to see how we can play out. So without further ado, ball is kicked in to the pod 1.5 pod at the front of the 7.3 in support. Ball comes out quite quickly. As you can see, the 14's actually slotted into a 10 position rather than having the 10 coming all the way across. 10 could come over here if you wanted to, but I'd rather just keep this kind of a width because this is this far away pod. This is the pod. If this split pitch is split down the middle, this is the first 3, so this is really their area. Not hard and fast, it doesn't matter too much if it's in here, but we do want to keep this width because if we keep this width, it stretches those guys out. And with stretched out defences comes opportunity, and that's always got to be our mantra. We're always trying to create opportunity. So ball comes over to the 14, 14 launches it pretty much immediately onto the 10. 10 takes it a little bit forward, then picks the best forward to give it to. In this case, he passes on to the 4. 4 takes it on, takes it into contact. You can see the 9's already starting to ride. 9's anticipating where the contact's going to be. 3 and 1 have already started to fall down into this situation here. 7 and 5 already fallen into their positions. So they're already taking up their part of the pitch for their pod. But you can see there's a 10, 12, 13, 15 and 11 and 6 outside channels. Depending where this gone, the 12 could have came over here and we could have swung back. It just really depends what that defence is doing. If the defence are very quick across and start jamming up this side, it makes no sense. 12 could switch over there and we could basically zero or jers this return play. So keep on playing forward. Has to be a fast ball here. And we're trying to put pressure on the defence. What they should have done is stopped half the forwards coming across from here. They should have stopped here now. So whoever's on the outside is left on the outside or scrambling to get across. Either way, if we get fast ball off of this, we've got a good 5-6 men outside this side of the pitch. So whoever's here is going to feel a lot of pressure. So we fire it on to 10. 10 does a couple of missed passes here to try and get it out to the wing because, as I said, we're trying to stretch them out the wing. Put them under lots of pressure. So right about now, passes on to 11. You see the 2 and 4's here, the 8 is already here, the 12 and the 13 will start to slide back into positions. Now the reason why this is quite important, if you've made any kind of yardage here, you have to think there's going to be quite a few backs here, which means there's going to be a few forwards here and they're going to be quite stretched. What we're looking for here is a bunch of forwards a little bit relatively inexperienced or overzealous in the way they're approaching the game and try and charge this group. So they take it up here and you can see 10 slipped into this position where he's looking for that little inside pass off the 8. This is purely dependent upon how this defence is set up because it could go to 8 and pop it to 13. We could reconnect with these guys, attack back up on the outside really easily. But instead in this play, we're going to fire off to the 2 who's going to take it on. 8 knows the opportunities outside. He's 2 passes it to the 8. 8 now takes it forward. Hopefully commits what would be a guy charging upon him, and no matter what, just creating a space here. Within the look, we've got some out of breath forwards hanging about here, and he's just got this channel you can run straight through. Notably, you can see the 13 and the 9 already anticipating through, and they're there in support. So hopefully we would put some pretty decent runners onto the ball here when 10 makes his breakthrough, and we take it through to the end there, and that's the way it is. But you can see how the guys have slipped into their shape fairly quickly without too much craziness going on, and I hope that has made a little bit of sense.